While Edward, the true king, is wandering about London on Coronation Day being mistreated, Tom Canty is just beginning to enjoy and deal effectively in his new position as king. With the help of his so-called whipping boy, he has lost most of his early fears. His misgivings faded out and died, his embarrassments departed, and gave place to an easy and confident bearing. In fact, Tom has learned to actually enjoy the splendid clothes, the grandeur, the attention, and the other royal privileges attendant upon his being considered royalty. For example, once when the Lady Mary argued with him over the wisdom of pardoning so many people who would otherwise be hanged, he was filled with generous indignation and commanded her to go to her closet and beseech God to take away the stone that was in her breast and give her a human heart. This was not always so, obviously. At the beginning of the novel, Tom Canty had many painful thoughts about Edward, the real prince, but these thoughts eventually faded. Likewise, at first, he sorely missed his poor mother and sisters, but later the very thought of their appearing in rags before him made him shudder. At midnight, on the eve of his coronation, Tom Canty goes to sleep in his splendid bed, watched over by loyal vassals. At the same time, the true king, hungry and thirsty, soiled and draggled, worn with travel, and clothed in rags and shreds, is wedged in among a crowd of people who are watching with deep interest the final preparations for the coronation of the young boy king. On the morning of the coronation, Tom Canty finds himself once more the center of what he thinks must be the most marvelous pageant in the entire world. Nothing has been spared to make this occasion the richest and most splendid of all coronations. As the procession winds its way through the city, he suddenly realizes that he is once again in the neighborhood of Awful Court, and he catches sight of some of his old comrades, some who played the game of royalty with him only a short time ago. Twain reveals Tom's inner thoughts. Oh, if they could only recognize him now. As the ride through the crowd continues, Tom hears people shouting for, "A largesse! A largesse!" and Tom scatters handfuls of coins among them. At one point during the procession, he is suddenly struck dumb as he recognizes his mother. Up flies his hand, palm outward before his eyes, that old involuntary gesture, born of a forgotten episode and perpetrated by habit. Almost immediately, his mother, recognizing the gesture, breaks through the crowd and embraces one of the lad's legs. She lifts up to him a face transfigured with love and joy. Tom looks at her and says, "I do not know you, woman." His mother is snatched away, and a great shame instantly falls upon Tom's heart. All of the grandeur now seems as worthless as the rotten rags he once wore. Royalty has lost its grace and sweetness. Its pomp has become a reproach, and remorse is eating his heart out. He cries out for God to free him from his captivity. As the procession continues, Tom Canty becomes so dejected that he slouches forward as though his soul had been struck with a funeral bell. His attendants try to encourage him to lift up his head, to shed the clouds from his face, and to smile upon the people. But Tom can only respond that, "She was my mother." The Duke attending Tom is horrified, and he assumes that the king is gone mad again. Meanwhile, on this coronation day, we learn that many people in the town have been awake and busy since early in the wee hours of the morning. And besides all the poor folks who anticipate the pomp and ceremony, there are just as many nobles and their ladies who also look forward to the coronation. Indeed, the vast sea of diamonds and other jewels glitter so brilliantly that one can hardly see. Finally, in all of this grand ceremony, the Archbishop of Canterbury finally lifts the crown above the head of the trembling mock-king, and, at that moment, from a hiding place, a boy appears. He is bare-headed, ill-shod, and clothed in coarse garments. He delivers this note of warning. "I forbid you to set the crown of England upon that forfeited head. I am the king."